Hello everybody and welcome to Lindsay's Little Library. So I'm here today to show you my August book haul, better known as don't tell my husband how many books that I bought in the month of August. Okay. So I didn't have any intention, as always, of buying books this month. This whole thing started with an order that I placed on Amazon. I had a gift card that I wanted to use. I had a few books that kind of were sitting in my cart. I had something else I needed to purchase, so it started with that. Then it wound up being kind of a Goodwill hunt, as you will. I have two Goodwills in my city that I live in, as well as there's a Goodwill that I drive by every day that when I come home from work. So I hit up all three of those and found things. And then I took advantage of a book outlet sale. So I'm not even going to count these because I don't even think I want to know, but I'm going to get started right away. So first up is my Amazon haul. I got 4 books off of Amazon. Again, the first one was a recommendation from Anne Bogle from What Should I Read Next podcast. It's called The Red Tent by Anita Diamond. This is an older book, lots of really great things about it. I didn't honestly know a lot about it until I listened to that podcast, so it sounds really interesting, and I can't remember what it's about right now, and all it has on the back are just words of praise. So anyways, I picked that one up. Next up was kind of the main reason I wanted to complete my purchase on Amazon is because this is just starting to just be so in our face nowadays and I want to read about it. So it's The Hate U Give by Angie Thomas. Again, this is around the Black Lives Matter movement. I heard really great things about it. Totally want to pick that one up. The next one is The Breakdown by B.A. Paris. B.A. Paris is one of my automatic buys now ever since I read her book Behind Closed Doors. Awesome book. Totally had me hooked from the start. I am definitely going to be picking up books by her in the future. I've heard good things about The Breakdown. I've also heard not so great things about The Breakdown, so I'm going to give it a whirl. I'll let you know what I think. And the last one I picked up was based on another recommendation from Sarah's Nightstand. I got Hum If You Don't Know the Words by Bianca Maris. I can't even tell you what it was about, but she loved it. So we have very similar tastes in books, so if she likes it, I'm sure I will like it. So that was my Amazon haul. Then I started my pilgrimage to all the Goodwills. Pretty much started with finding this treasure, Truly, Madly, Guiltily by Liane Moriarty. Again, I've fallen in love with Liane Moriarty this year. She's fantastic. So automatic buys. I literally was at Target looking at this book, about to buy it. I think it was like 16 bucks or something like that. Left there. Goodwill is really right next to Target where I live, and walked in there and could not believe. I was looking at the paperback and I got the hardcover for $4. Yes. So that was the first one that I picked up. We'll just start going down the list here. Next up was Anne of Windy Poplars by L.M. Montgomery. This is book number 4 in the Anne of Green Gables series. I have books 1, 2, and 3. I've read books 1, 2, and 3. Didn't have 4. So for $1, pick this one up. Let me just tell you, my Goodwills, the stickers on here are horrible. They're atrocious. It will drive me crazy, but whatever. Next one I picked up Fried Green Tomatoes at the Wilson Stop Cafe by Fannie Flagg. The movie Fried Green Tomatoes was based on this. I've heard the book is fantastic. I love the movie, so I'm going to give that a whirl. Next purchase was for my daughter. It's The Tale of Emily Winsnap. Her name's Emily. I thought she'd get a kick out of having a book with her name in it, so it seems mermaidish. Then I picked up The Lightning Thief by Rick Riordan, book number 1 in Percy Jackson and the Olympians. Again, another series that I've heard great things about. This may be something I start to read with my kids. I think that would be fun, so I grabbed the first book. Next one was, this is to add to my World War II collection. It's Unbroken by Laura Hillenbrand. This is about, I believe, Air Force bomber crashed into the Pacific against all odds. This man survives. He's left adrift in his life raft for quite a while, and then eventually saved. So heard it's really great. I heard the audiobook is fantastic, so I would probably borrow the audiobook through my Overdrive app and read through the book and do those simultaneously. Next one I found, again, I could not believe I found this one after spending like so many days in July being obsessed with tumbleweeds. I found Roses by Lila McCann. This is the book that all of the reviewers for Tumbleweeds compared Tumbleweeds to. It's Roses, saying Roses was much better than Tumbleweeds. Again, I don't know what it's about. I fell in love with Tumbleweeds, so if Roses is better, fantastic, I'm going to read it. Next one I picked up, I'm going to save actually till it's a little more winter outside, but it's Let It Snow by John Green, Maureen Johnson, and Lauren Miracle. There's 3 different holiday romances in here. I like a good Christmassy themed book right around Christmas, so I picked that one up. Next up is my first Sarah Dessen book. I have not read her before, so I thought for a cheap price at Goodwill, I'd give her a try. So this one is The Truth About Forever. Again, I don't know much about it. All I know is that Sarah Dessen writes some great contemporary books out there that a lot of people like, so we'll give her a try. Let's see. Then there's The Bright Forever by Lee Martin. Again, I don't know much. I remember reading it in Goodwill and thought it sounded cute. This is a book about the choices people make that change their lives forever, playing fact, speculation, and contradiction off one another as the details unfold. It's a fast-paced story that is as gripping as it is richly human. Doesn't really tell you much. Oh, on an evening like any other, 9-year-old Katie McKay, daughter of the most affluent family in a small town on the plains of Indiana, sets out on her bicycle to return some library books. That's all it says. But I picked it up. It's a Pulitzer Prize finalist, so I thought, well, can't be too horrible. Although I'm not having the greatest luck with award-winning books lately, but we'll talk about that some other time. The next few I picked up is because I've read these books before. I love these books. I either never owned a copy or I owned a copy and I don't know what happened to it. So first up is The Poisonwood Bible by Barbara Kingsolver. I may have sold this at one point in time, but I don't remember. It's probably one of those times that I thought, let's just start getting rid of some stuff, but I was really sad I did. This is definitely a book I want to read again. I read this when I was really young, like 18 or 19, and I feel like I should revisit it and I would have a better appreciation for this book. Next book is a book I listened to on audio but loved it. It's called Still Alice by Lisa Genova. This is a book about Alice, who is 50 years old, and she is a professor at Harvard, and she gets diagnosed with early onset Alzheimer's. And so you go through this book from Alice's perspective and you feel what it feels like to have that disease start taking over your body. So fantastic read. Highly, highly, highly recommend. Gotta pick it up. So I want other people to read this. I thought, let's get myself a copy so I can start spreading it around. Next up is another one of my favorite authors, Kristen Hanna. I know I've owned these books before. I just don't know what happened to them. So first up is Winter Garden by Kristen Hanna. Fantastic historical fiction. World War II, again, it's my fave. But this centers around the Russian perspective of it. Really, really good book. And then Night Road by Kristen Hanna. This was my first book that I read by Kristen Hanna. Again, fantastic, fantastic book. It's about an 18-year-old who it's about a woman whose daughter, I believe, gets into an accident, and I don't know if I can tell you more, but anyways, good book. Kristen Hanna is just fantastic. Anyways. And then the last one, I actually picked this one up from the library. My local library sells or has a specific section that they have books for sale all the time. So anytime I stop in there, I have to go into that section and check out what is new. And Lilac Girls was there for $1. And look at this copy. It's fantastic. Big hardcover for $1. I'll get that off. But I listened to this on audio, and if you are going to listen to Lilac Girls, highly suggest the audio version. It helps you understand the names and the places and gives you, I think, a little better insight into the book. But fantastic. Again, historical, World War II historical fiction book, based around 3 women. One's an American, one's a Polish, and one is from Germany, I think. So, great book. So that was my book outlet hauls. Oh, one more kids book, The Land of Stories. First one, again, thought we could start trying to read that as family. So yeah, that's my Goodwill haul / one book from the library. So then we move on to my book outlet haul. I'm not sure if I've mentioned this before, but the way that I tend to use book outlet is if I hear of a really great book that's been suggested, I will go online and see if they have it. If they do, I add it to my cart. I tend to just let my cart sit there, and if I lose out on books, I lose out on books. But once a good sale comes along, I will empty out my cart. So that was what happened. I think it was like you spent $25, you got $5 off or something like that. So I emptied out my cart. The first couple of books, well, again, for my kids. Halloween and I'm Turning Green. My daughter's obsessed with the weird school books, and this is one of them. They are pretty funny. I actually enjoy reading them with her, but I thought that this would be a cute little book to add to her collection. The next one I grabbed was Wind Witch by Susan Dennard. I have Truth Witch. I haven't read it yet, but might as well have the second if you have the first. So I got it. The next one is The Distance from Me to You by Marina Gessner. I believe this was, I think, did Books and Lala talk about this? I think she did. So, can't totally remember what it's about. But I picked that up. It was in my cart. I add these randomly and then I forget what they're about. But then I have The Rose and the Dagger by Renee Adia. This is the sequel to The Wrath and the Dawn, which I have The Wrath and the Dawn, so I needed the second one. Haven't read it yet, but now I'm ready. The next one I picked up is The Garden of Burning Sand. This is by Corbin Addison. I read a book by Corbin Addison a couple months ago called A Walk Across the Sun. Fell in love with that book. Fantastic author. So I saw this on Book Outlet. I thought I would pick it up. This is about a human rights lawyer, Zoe, who is working in Zambia, and she comes across a Down syndrome girl who was sexually assaulted and kind of stands up for her and fights for her, and so sounds really interesting. Next up is, I can't remember where I heard about this book, but I heard about it somewhere, Map of Fates by Maggie Hall. This is supposed to be kind of a spin-on National Treasure. So a little bit of a mystery. It says A Conspiracy of Us novel. But yeah, a YA version of like National Treasure or Da Vinci Code or something like that. So picked that one up. And then I picked up The Dry by Jane Harper. Again, another book I've heard really great things about. I think it's a thriller. Sometimes it's the smallest of towns that hide the biggest secrets. Dun, dun, dun. So pick that one up. And then to complete my collection of Lila McCam, I got Somerset. So this is Somerset and Roses, and I have Tumbleweeds. So those are the 3 main ones by her. So I picked this one up. These are huge books. I might do like the whole audio / read thing at the same time just because these are beefy. But I sped through Tumbleweeds, so I gotta give it a whirl. And then the last 2 are purely my latest and greatest guilty pleasure, which is the Selection series. Yeah, totally addicted to it, 100%. I'm literally on the 3rd book, and I just started this maybe a week ago. I've sped through the Selection and the Elite. I'm now on the 1. So I picked up Happily Ever After and The Heir by Kiera Cass. It's part of the Selection series. I think the only one that I would need is The Crown. So, well, I have the Selection. I don't have the Elite or the 1, but we'll see. They're, like I said, they're like my guilty pleasure reads. These are not, award-winning literary fiction here. They're totally YA. I would describe the selection as The Bachelorette The Bachelor meets Hunger Games, kind of. So it's about the United States in the future, but we've kind of got a little with some issues. There's a lot of world wars. We went through some issues, and a little bit of a dystopian time period for us. And so every time that there's now a king and a queen. Anytime there's a prince, they hold what's called the selection. So any of the eligible women of the United States that are certain ages, I think around 16, can apply to be part of the selection. They pick 35 girls. They all go live at the palace. They all go on dates with the prince, hence the bachelor side of things. But yet there's still some killing going on. There's still some unruly dystopian type stuff going on, hence the Hunger Games. That's all kind of wrapped around it. And it follows the one specific girl named America and kind of her journey through the selection and what happened. So again, pick these up because they were cheap and it's feeding my guilty pleasure right now. So we'll see where that goes. Like I said, I'm about halfway through the one, which is the third book. Yeah, I'm loving it. Keeps me entertained. So yeah, that's about it. It's a lot of books, so we'll just keep this between you and me, and we're going to try again next month to not have a book haul. How's that sound? That works. Now I gotta go find a place to put them all. So anyways, like, comment, subscribe below. Let me know which books you have read that you think I should pick up right away. Let me know if you've read the selection and you have the same thoughts that I do about it. And let me know if you've ever had a book haul that you had to hide from somebody. Not that he's going to be mad. It's just his normal comments of, do you have enough books? I just don't need to hear. So we're going to put them away and move on. Right? All right. Like, comment, subscribe below, and I will talk to you later. Bye.